Wes Lee here, and welcome to another edition of the Mesonet Weather Report. After a very hot start to the week, a cold front moved in on Wednesday, bringing rain to the northern counties and cooling off the state. This two-day rainfall map from midweek shows 1 to 2 inch totals at several sites and over 3 inches in Buffalo. The cool down gave us a much-needed break, with high temperatures struggling to reach the 90s on Wednesday. This cold front is predicted to have some staying power, keeping temperatures at a comfortable range for quite a while. This is the forecast for Saturday, showing again mostly 80s and low 90s statewide. Looking at the long-range forecast maps as of Wednesday afternoon, they show a pretty good chance for cooler than normal temperatures for all of next week. Looking out even further till the end of the month, there is even a chance of cooler than normal weather continuing as seen on this map. As I showed last week, we have been warmer than normal each month from February through June. With the addition of this cold front, if the forecast maps hold true, then July will likely break that streak of warm months. That would be great news, as on average next week is historically the hottest week for high temperatures of the year. Now here's Gary focusing more on rainfall amounts.
Thanks, Wes, and good morning, everyone. Well, all this rain that's fallen across the state has done one thing, and that's prevented that flash drought from getting out of control. We still have drought in the state, but we haven't seen the rapid intensification and spread like we've seen over the last couple of summers. Let's get right to that new drought monitor map and see where we're at. So the same basic picture the last couple of weeks. We have this drought centered across west central Oklahoma. That's really the only drought to speak of in the state, except for the far western panhandle. But for the really severe part of the drought, it's now centered across parts of west central Oklahoma. All this yellow, which is known as D0 or abnormally dry conditions, that's not strictly drought. That's indicates areas coming in or coming out of drought. For our case, however, this week, a lot of that yellow is would be areas in danger of going into drought. So something to keep in mind. While we don't have a lot of drought in the state, we certainly have a lot of the state that's in danger of going into drought if we don't continue to get these good rains. So in pretty good shape for this time of year, at least compared to the last few years. Summer's been pretty good for many people, not so great for others. We take a look at the rainfall map from the Mesonet for the summer thus far. So starting on June 1st, climatological summer. We do see up in the eastern panhandle, parts of northwest Oklahoma, 7 to 11 inches of rainfall. Certainly great news for that area of the state. And then across southeast Oklahoma, Hurricane Beryl, the remnants of that helped in far southeast Oklahoma. But when we take a look at the departure from normal rainfall map, then we can start to see where those deficits really start to take hold. Parts of southwest Oklahoma up through central into northeastern Oklahoma. In cases of southwest Oklahoma, 1 to 3 to 4 inches or somewhere in that area. And then also up in northeastern Oklahoma, parts of central Oklahoma, much more widespread areas of 3 to 4 inch deficits. So we do have those areas of surplus, however, up in northwest Oklahoma and down across southeastern Oklahoma. It's always good to compare where we normally would be this time of the year as a percent. A 2-inch deficit in the summer is not the same as a 2-inch deficit in the winter. But for our cases here in the summer, we do see much of that northeastern part of the state, parts of southwest Oklahoma, less than 50% of normal in many cases. So certainly not good news for those areas. Hopefully we get some rain and alleviate the problems in those areas. So we are seeing a break in the heat. That certainly helps as well. That tends to allow the pressure on the soil moisture to be reduced quite efficiently. So as long as we get this extended period of moisture and also below normal temperatures, we should be in good shape when we get to that fall rainy season. We have a lot of summer left to go, however. We will keep an eye on it for you. That's it for this time. We'll see you next time on the Mesonet Weather Report.